As we gather together this morning, every single one of us woke up differently this morning. We woke up in the same manner perhaps, but each one of us woke up with something different on our minds, things that concern us, things that excite us. Some people are waking up this morning looking forward to the day that lays ahead and all the things that they're excited about. And there's others that wake up today, perhaps even dreading today because of things that they must face that they're uncomfortable with, a problem or an issue that seems to be going on and lingering week after week, day after day, and they just can't seem to get a handle on that situation. Many of us have found ourselves in those situations throughout our lifetime. This morning, the Lord comes to us with a very powerful couple of verses out of 1 Peter. And what we're going to do this morning is we're just going to give those problems or those issues to the Lord in a wonderful and a mighty way today. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6 and 7. Verse 7, we always kind of try to quote. It says, "Casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you." And that's a biblical promise, a biblical truth. But I want you to listen to verse 6. Before we get to 7, it says this: "Humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time." Then he says, "Casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you." So before I can cast all of my cares and concerns and struggles upon the Lord for him to take care of those issues, the first thing I must do is humble myself under his mighty hand. In other words, I have to get to a state in my mind where I realize I can't handle this by myself. I wasn't made to handle certain situations by myself. My frame or my spiritual consciousness and all these other things were never designed to handle issues in my life that bring me down, burden me, and distract me, and those types of things. I was always instructed and always have been instructed in the Word of God to cast those things upon the Lord and allow the Lord to handle those and not let them burden me with anxieties, fears, and concerns that were never meant to be a part of my life. So this morning, let's give this problem to Jesus right now. Take that problem this morning that you have, whatever it might be, and I want you to mentally place that problem in your hands. Maybe you can reduce the thought process to just a phrase or two of what that issue is. If it matters to you, then it matters to God. I want you to know that. If this matters to you this morning, then it matters to God. Why? Because you're his child. He loves you and he cares for you. So I want you to say, "Here it is, Father. You are good and you are kind and you are faithful. And this morning I need your help. And I want to lift this up to you this morning." So right now, mentally, I want you to lift that up to the Lord this morning. Maybe even take your hands and lift it up. "Lord, I give you this problem this morning. Your word says if I cast this upon you, that you will handle it because you care for me. This morning, I claim this morning. I don't have to face this problem by myself anymore. I don't have to be alone with this problem. I don't have to feel isolated because of this problem. It's not just up to me to carry this burden upon my shoulders. This morning, Lord, I cast it upon you. If you this morning have given that burden to the burden bearer, Jesus Christ, then I want you to know something very supernatural just happened. It really did. What you did is you brought that burden to him. Now your only responsibility is to leave it with him. Every time you have a problem this week, I want you to do the same thing mentally. Place it in your hands. Lift it up to the Lord. Say, "Lord, I give you this problem." And then leave it with the Lord. Because he has designed and fashioned our life for us to transfer those burdens to him and allow him to take care of those things. So would you do that this morning? Would you cry out to the Lord and say, "Lord, I need your help"? See, the Lord isn't fascinated or impressed sometimes with our long, intelligent technically correct prayers. I'm not saying anything wrong with long prayers. But sometimes simply we just need to go and talk to the Father the way we would talk to our earthly Father, but in a more magnificent way, and say, Lord, I need your help. Just say that to the Father this morning. Lord, I need your help with this issue. If he doesn't respond as quickly as you think he ought to, or as dramatically as you think he ought to, that's fine. His ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. So just leave that problem with him this morning and understand that he is concerned about what concerns you. He is active in what is active against you. He will send all the necessary things to take care of the issues that lay ahead of you. So this morning I just want you to know and trust that whatever you give to the Lord today, he will take care of those things for you. Maybe it's an issue that's been going on with you for a long time, and you've just been trying every way in the world to handle that issue, but you've never really fully given it to the Lord. And even those times where maybe you have lifted it up in a heartfelt prayer and give it to the Lord, somehow you seem to be putting your hands on it and taking it back. So this morning, leave it with the Lord and trust the Lord. And then you go on and live the kind of life that God has always intended you to live, free of that burden. Today you be safe, you be strong, and you be blessed. And you be that person today that gives it to the Lord and leaves it with the Lord and trusts the Lord. Lord's will, we'll see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, you have a great day.